Today, we're going to talk about a technology that's probably already in your home, maybe on your wrist, and almost definitely in your car. It's creating this massive hidden network that's changing, well, pretty much everything about how we live and work. We are diving deep into the Internet of Things. Okay, let's start with a simple idea. Imagine this. What if your thermostat knew exactly when you were heading home from work, and it could get the house to that perfect temperature just as you walk in the door? Or what if your fitness tracker didn't just count your steps, but it actually shared that data securely with your doctor to keep an eye on your health in real time?
Well, that's not science fiction anymore. It's really not. That is the reality and the whole promise of the Internet of Things, or as you'll hear it called all the time, IoT.
All right, let's get into it. To really wrap our heads around the revolution that's happening all around us, we need a simple, clear definition of what the Internet of Things actually is.
So, what are we really talking about here? At its heart, IoT is all about giving everyday physical objects a digital voice. I mean, think about anything, from a massive shipping container to a tiny heart monitor. We put little sensors in it, give it a way to connect to a network, and suddenly it can talk to other devices. And, more importantly, it can talk to us. They're constantly collecting data, sharing it, and even acting on it.
Now, here's what's really interesting. While IoT feels like a buzzword that just popped up in the last few years, the idea itself, it started a long time ago and with some surprisingly normal, everyday problems.
Okay, so get a load of this. This is one of the very first internet-connected appliances. We're going all the way back to 1982. Some super smart programmers at Carnegie Mellon were just tired of walking all the way down the hall to the Coke machine only to find it was empty. So, what'd they do? They hooked it up to the network so they could check from their desks if there were any Cokes left, and this is the best part, if they were cold. That's it, a brilliant, simple solution, and basically the first IoT device.
And, this trend of solving caffeine-related problems with technology, it continued. A few years later, in 1991, some researchers over at Cambridge University pointed a camera at their department's coffee pot, and the goal was exactly the same, to save themselves a wasted trip by checking if there was any coffee ready. That little camera feed became the world's very first webcam.
So that begs a really important question, right? If we've been connecting Coke machines and coffee pots to networks since the 80s, why is the Internet of Things suddenly everywhere? What changed?
Well, it wasn't just one thing. It was really a perfect storm of technology. All of a sudden, we had cheap, reliable internet almost everywhere. And at the exact same time, the cost of computer chips just plummeted while we figured out how to cram these incredibly powerful sensors and processors into teeny tiny spaces. Then you have the rise of cloud computing, which gave us a huge, affordable place to store and actually make sense of all the data these new little devices were spitting out. It was all of these things coming together at once that created this massive tipping point.
And this right here just illustrates that point perfectly. What you're looking at is a Raspberry Pi Zero. It is a fully functional computer sitting right next to a quarter. We can now put that kind of computing power into almost anything you can possibly imagine.
And the cost? Yeah, that's the other piece of the magic. That tiny little powerhouse of a computer, it costs just $5. This unbelievable mix of microscopic size and rock-bottom price is the engine that has totally supercharged the IoT explosion. Okay, so we've got these cheap, tiny, connected computers everywhere. But how do they actually come together to work as a system? Let's walk through the four-step journey that turns something happening in the physical world into useful digital information on your screen. It's actually a really elegant four-part loop. So first, you have sensors on a device that collect data from the world around it, temperature, motion, location, you name it. Second, that data gets zipped up to the cloud using something like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Third, up in the cloud, some really powerful software crunches all that raw data, looking for patterns or insights. And finally, step 4, that useful processed information is presented back to you, usually through an app on your phone or a dashboard on your computer. So let's see how this all comes together in the real world. You can basically split the whole IoT universe into two major camps, the stuff in our homes and the stuff in our industries.
In fact, you are almost certainly using consumer IoT right now. It's your smartwatch tracking your heart rate, your smart speaker playing music, or your video doorbell showing you who's at the front door. The goal here is usually about convenience, entertainment, and security, all things that make our personal lives a little bit better.
So here's a really crucial distinction to make. The difference between that consumer IoT and its much bigger, much more powerful cousin, the industrial Internet of Things, or IIoT. While your smart home tech is about making your life better, the IoT is about completely transforming entire industries like manufacturing, agriculture, and logistics. The goal isn't just convenience, it's about making huge gains in efficiency, predicting when a jet engine needs maintenance before it actually fails, and making dangerous jobs way safer for workers.
And the scale of this, it is just hard to wrap your head around. This quote from Forbes really puts it into perspective. Just a tiny 1% improvement in how factories and farms work, driven by the IoT, could add up to $15 trillion to the global economy. This isn't just a trend, it's one of the biggest economic shifts of our lifetime.
And that brings us to the future. I mean, think about it. We've gone from connected Coke machines to connected global supply chains in just a couple of decades. So where is all this leading?
The numbers are just staggering. People are predicting tens of billions and eventually trillions of connected devices. This is creating this unbelievably rich, real-time map of our entire world. We could see things like smart cities that automatically redirect traffic to eliminate gridlock, or personalized medicine that's based on constant feedback from our bodies. But the final, most important question isn't just about the problems we can solve, but about the new challenges we'll create. How do we manage the privacy and security of a world where literally everything is listening? That's the conversation that's going to define the next chapter of the Internet of Things.